It was February 25, 1957. A bitterly cold afternoon on the outskirts of Philadelphia. A young man walking along Susquehanna Road noticed a cardboard box in the brush, an old J.C. Penney bassinet box. He almost ignored it, thinking it was just trash. But curiosity, or perhaps fate, made him stop. When he lifted the lid, what he saw would haunt the city for decades. Inside the box lay the body of a small boy, naked, emaciated, wrapped in a cheap plaid blanket. His hair had been crudely cut, his small face bruised. There were no clothes, no shoes, and no name. Police arrived quickly. Detectives noted every detail: the box, the blanket, the boy's tiny frame. They estimated he was about 4 to 6 years old. But there was no identification, no missing child report that matched his description. It was as if this boy had simply appeared out of nowhere. Word spread fast. Newspapers called him the boy in the box. Hundreds of officers scoured the nearby woods, hoping to find a clue, a house, a piece of clothing, a toy. But the snow and mud offered little. The boy's fingerprints were taken. His photograph, black and white, stark and haunting, was printed in every paper across the country. Police sent flyers to every home in the Philadelphia area. Even gas stations displayed posters of his face. Yet, nobody came forward. How does a child just disappear? No family, no one looking for him. It was a question that would echo for decades. The autopsy revealed even more disturbing details. The boy had suffered head trauma, multiple bruises, and small scars that suggested long-term abuse. His stomach was empty. He hadn't eaten for at least 24 hours before his death. He was malnourished but clean. Someone had bathed him. His fingernails were trimmed. It seemed whoever killed him had cared enough to clean him afterward. Police theorized that his haircut was done post-mortem, perhaps to disguise him, to make him harder to recognize. It was a chilling contradiction, violence and tenderness intertwined. Weeks turned into months, and tips poured in. Some said he looked like a missing child from New Jersey. Others believed he'd been abandoned by traveling carnival workers. In one bizarre twist, investigators found a pair of children's shoes near the scene, but they didn't fit the boy. Detectives tracked every clue, every box manufacturer, every family that had purchased the same kind of bassinet. Still, the leads went nowhere. By 1958, the boy in the box case had become a grim obsession for Philadelphia police. One detective reportedly kept the boy's photo in his wallet until the day he died. Years later, attention turned to a foster home located about a mile from where the boy was found. Investigators discovered that the home's matriarch had purchased bassinets similar to the box in question. They also found blankets that looked almost identical to the one that wrapped the boy. But despite how close the clues seemed, there was no solid evidence linking the home to the murder. Without DNA or witnesses, it remained speculation, one more haunting what if in a case built on maybes. Then, in 2002, 45 years after the discovery, a woman known only as M came forward with a disturbing story. She claimed her mother had bought the boy from his birth parents and kept him locked in a basement for years. One night, after he vomited in the tub, her mother beat him to death. M said they wrapped him in a blanket, placed him in the box, and dumped his body in the woods. Investigators found that her story matched some of the crime scene details: the blanket, the haircut, the general location. But her account couldn't be verified. Neighbors, records, timelines, all raised doubts. Still, her version of events reignited public fascination, and for a moment, it felt like justice might finally be near. For decades, the boy remained buried in a potter's field, his gravestone reading simply, "America's Unknown Child." Then, in 2022, 65 years after his discovery, forensic genealogy changed everything. DNA testing finally identified him as Joseph Augustus Zarelli, born in 1953. His surviving relatives were located, though investigators chose not to release their names publicly. Yet even with his identity revealed, one question still haunted the case: who killed Joseph, and why? The family reportedly had living members in the Philadelphia area, but none had ever come forward to claim him. Whether out of shame, fear, or ignorance, no one had spoken his name in over half a century. For 65 years, Joseph's story was a mystery of silence, a nameless child lost in time. His face, once just a haunting sketch, became a symbol of every missing child whose story was never told. Even now, as his name is finally known, his death remains unsolved. A reminder that some crimes are not just about who did it, but why no one ever came to save them. If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, because every voice helps keep these cold cases alive, and every story deserves to be told.